So, what is it that we do? And that's the question so many people have asked me. So, I just thought of doing this video to kind of share what we do and how everything kind of comes together. Okay. So, the topic is about what I do is basically I have a day job and a night job, and so in the day, I am doing my financial planning, legacy creation, business protection, all that kind of stuff, like in the financial fintech space. But at night, that's where all the exciting thing happens, right? So I am doing game dates, I'm building communities, I'm teaching sales and marketing. I do a lot of workshops, seminars, events. So yeah, what makes it so special? That is a question people have been asking me. What is it that makes you so unique? So, so the context was basically last August we launched Game Dates, and Game Dates started out with this whole idea about helping you discover your ikigai through board games. So I discovered this board game through my travels as a nomad in Thailand, played a few of these games, and then I found out that these games are one of the easier games or a first time I've experienced a game that allows me to discover more about myself. So it started with that. And then one become two, two become four, and we have over 100 members that we spend zero ads and zero like marketing whatsoever to build this community. And over time, I'm like, okay, great. So once you play this game, what's next, right? People are not coming back. There's not really much thing. But I have been sitting on the idea of getting another game called Actual Life. And Actual Life is a game where in this board game you get to discover more about your actual life, as the name suggests, right? So in that game you get to discover with the limited amount of time we have, um, and the limited amount of options we have using this coins or this mana credit, you get to decide where you want to allocate this in areas of your health, career, friendship, knowledge, so on and so forth. And you get to see and discover how, especially when you play the first time, we always encourage you to play as if you would live, how the way you live your life, like play it as if this is your life in a game, right? To see where you will end up at the end of time. That's really the whole idea of Actual Life board game. Now, someone then asked me, aside from this whole game, how do you become profitable? How do you make this profitable? What's your objective of doing all these games? And so this might sound a bit serious, but it is because it's money. But I want to keep it as light and fun as possible. Okay, so bear with me. So the idea is that the real business, because of my day job, that is the real business that I really truly believe and want to focus on. Like that's where the real money can happen in terms of the work that I do, right? But more importantly, I really truly believe in the joint venture element or the referral business model because that's where I come from. Now, the backstory is in 2024, at the start of this year, January, I paid off all my debts and I left about like $10 in my bank account. And it was scary because the credit card bill came, which was worth like $1,000. And I'm like, holy shit, how am I going to pay off that debt? And so, it took me a long, long time to kind of really put my ego aside and start working part-time jobs like being a photographer, doing like some kind of exhibition crew work and get paid for my time. And that, surprisingly enough, got me able to pay off my debt, right? And it's been happening for the last couple of months, and that's really the hardship I had to go through to understand this one point, which is I can never be poor, at least in Singapore, if I choose to work. That's really the one thing I really really learned in that hard time, especially as an entrepreneur all my life. I don't really like working for someone even though I tried. But yeah, so that was the hardship I go through. And then I realized, in the seminar world, the workshop world, everyone is always talking about, build your cash flow, let's achieve financial freedom, and let's do property investing or stock investing or invest. And like everyone talks about all this concept, which is great. And I truly support and really believe in the power of compounding interest and so on and so forth. But, but, even the board games I play like Cash Flow or Wealth and Joy, is they always start out with a job and an income, a salary. But what if you're like me with no salary at all? Like you're an entrepreneur and you are actually taking on more debts and having a fixed kind of income, right? And so I realized there's a very huge gap in that market in the games world and in real life. Like, those games are supposed to help us simulate life, but what about us, all right? And so I thought, leveraging on my knowledge in wealth literacy and stuff is, which is easier, right? Like to raise $1 million and find somewhere I can park my money to give me 4% return, and that would generate about like $40,000 in passive income, and I can choose not to work too. Is that easier versus, let's say, now I have a community of like 100 people, and if I had charged $40 a month for the subscription, that would give me the equivalent of like $4,000 a month passively. And all I have to do, well, not say 100% passively, but you still have to do your events and active so on and so forth. So you get the point, right? Either I find a way to make $1 million and I still have to wait for a year, or would I want to invest that time to build a community and charge a subscription fee and do membership, right? Or even if it's simple as $10 or $40 as a one-time thing, I would have that amount like $4,000 or even $1,000 extra in my bank account today. And that is sufficient enough to kind of, pay for my everyday meal, like the basic survival needs. I think that's very, very important. And so, what are the future plans for game dates? It's really about, can you imagine that there is a board game that not only teach you about sales and marketing, which I think is the most important fundamental of business or as an entrepreneur, but also the most important fundamental to get out of the rat race. Because you can work for someone else, get this fixed pay, and this is your life, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever it is. And the freedom, the lifestyle, it's quite limited. It's so sad to hear or to invite friends like, hey, let's travel, let's do this, let's do that. It's all about, oh, I'm still studying, I'm working, I can't do this. And I really empathize with that because I went through that phase. Like when I was working for someone else, taking a day to, paycheck to paycheck, I really couldn't. And I couldn't blame them because, yeah, responsibilities, right, adulting. And then I also have friends who move past that stage and then they tell me, oh, they have a family, they have kids, which I also definitely understand the struggle. So if you have the opportunity to do community building, right, as a sideline, as a hustle, then I would highly encourage it because it took me 6 months to build from 0 to 100. How long would it take for you to do the same? And here's the best part is I want to help you build your community because that's really the whole point of joint venture. Like I really believe that the real business is through joint venture. The real money comes from the back end, as they always say, or through joint ventures, right? So what is the common topic, especially when you are first starting out as a new property agent, insurance advisor, so on and so forth, but you have no credibility. Why would someone buy from you if you have no experience, right? But one thing I realized about the power of leveraging is the people behind you. You might not have the the experience or the credentials at the start, but what you can do is to pull people together. Pull people together so that we can come and have a more intimate session. People get to know who you are, and the conversation will definitely happen. Is, hey, what is it that you do? What is it you do? And just to spark interest, right? To create touch points for people to kind of, oh, I remember you for this, that. And I truly believe that once that happens, people will start to ask you, hey, can I know more information about this? And this is where you can use what I call the tea session strategy, where you can invite your manager, your boss, to sit down with your friend and discuss and diagnose, right? What are the issues they face, and then propose an offer and close the sale thereafter. So I truly believe that the business is at the back, the real money is at the back. But most importantly is the hardest, most resistant thing in marketing is getting people to talk to you, to know who you are. And in the areas of marketing on Facebook, so on and so forth, it's getting more and more expensive. And so we did a test on running ads for game dates and stuff, and found out that to get a lead, an engaged lead, is much, much cheaper if you were to run a board game than a specific industry, a niche, right? And so that's the gist of what we do and why we do what we do, right? It's so many different things on so many different levels to build not only just communities, but also friendship, intimacy, passive income in that sense as well, and just so much more that I might have missed out in this video. because this is what's flowing, right? But that's the whole idea of why we do what we do. And games are a perfect way to show you life, to demonstrate that how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And games are a perfect way to kind of demonstrate that. So these games have no endpoints. This game have no winning or losing, but this game is all about discovery about you. So I encourage you to check it out, to check out our membership and to come join us at one of these events. All you have to do is go to the website joingamedates.com and stay tuned for our posts, right? All we ask is just to cover the basic cost of food, or even if there's any rental that we need to get just to host the event, so that there's no distraction or disturbance, right? And so I just want to end off with this is talking about your self-worth. You never truly know what you are worth until you know that you are able to do it. In other words, once you have done something of a certain magnitude before, you know that you are able. And because you are able, it gives you that form of worthiness, like you deserve it because of the amount of things you have to put together, the amount of effort invested to make sure this happens, right? For me, like to travel around the country, Asia, just to find the games, to attend the classes, to make sure that the experience is the best. I feel that there's this sense of worthiness, like I deserve this, right? Some might call it self-entitlement or selfishness, but I really encourage you to have that sense of worthiness. And with that sense of confidence, you have this sense of esteem, self-esteem, right? Like you are confident, right? That's where the confidence comes from. And because you're esteemed, you know your worth, you can go out there, right, to the marketplace and state your price, to state your worth, and really see, or in virtual cases, ask, what are people's responses? What are people's thoughts? And if you know your worth and you can see what is their response, if they're trying to take advantage of you, trying to get a discount out of you, knowing your worth, or if you like them and you just want to help them, right, adjust accordingly. I think that's the one biggest tip and advice my mentor Larry Gilman has given me in my travels with him, and I want to share that with you. So again, thank you for watching all this way. I hope this gives you a very quick overview of what we do, why we do what we do, and our whole idea, just to summarize, is really how you build your communities, and we're using games to do so. And the real business behind this is joint ventures, affiliate marketing, network marketing, you leveraging a network as a form of marketing, right? And yeah, so go to joingamedates.com, say hi, I'll reach out to you, and let's talk. Come and play. Okay? So with that said, I'll see you guys. You can find me at Instagram at TheAbundantRiley. I'll see you guys in the next video.